Hello! I think we're live.
Hey everybody, good evening. How's it going?
Good to see you guys. Well, we can't see anybody, but we're here.
We can see each other.
I think we're live. Let us know in the comments if you can see us while we wait for a few more people to join. So, welcome to the live. Yay!
Oh, good. We are seen. All right, we can get started then.
Awesome. Well, some people are going to be watching this live. Some people will be watching this later, but we're super excited to be here tonight and share just a lot of the things that are going on this month, but also to share what God has been doing here in Santa Cruz through Anchor of Hope with our amazing team. I'm here with Ellie. I'm Lily.
Hi.
And we're super excited. So if you have questions as we go, you can comment down below or with your phones. And then at the end, we'll have a time for questions. So be thinking about things that you want to know about. If you have questions for us or for the team or for the board, we can answer them at the end.
Yes.
So I want to invite you guys to be a part of our fundraiser this month. Well, we have a our campaign.
It's a campaign. Let's distinguish. We have a campaign going on all of the month of November, and then we will also have a fundraiser event that is part of our campaign at the end of November.
Yes, I'm going to open my notes because otherwise I will get distracted. But so we have our campaign. It's our Grow With Us 2023 campaign, which is Each One, Reach One, which is really catchy. And we want you guys to jump on this campaign. So that basically what we're trying to do is we're growing our reach. As our ministry has grown, as we're reaching more and more kids, we've seen God answer so many prayers. Our team is growing. We have 7 people here in Bolivia on the ground serving. We have also some other volunteers. So we're growing. We have reached over 430 kids at this point. So our reach is growing here, but we need to grow our reach in the States, in different countries, even here in Bolivia, so that we can continue to grow. And so everything that we're doing this month, we want to invite you to join us. And so each of us can reach one person. So everything that we're going to be sharing, we want to invite you to share with other people, share with your circles. And so we have some exciting stuff coming up.
Yeah, we really do. And just thank you even for being here. Thank you if you have been supporting us, if you follow along. It's such a blessing to have every person because this is a partnership. It's not something just that we do, but it's something that we all do together. And so I just want to thank you for that. And thank you because we're continuing to grow. Like Lily said, we're continuing to grow. I think a lot of people know that we are buying the community center that we currently have. We've been there, oh goodness, I don't even know how many years now, like 2 years, I think. And so God has blessed us with the ability to purchase it from the owners. They really like us and we really like them. So that's helpful. And they really like what we do. And so with everyone's support, with your support, we've been able to make the first 2 payments on the house because the owners are giving it to us through a payment plan over time, which is also a huge blessing for us. And so with all of your help, we've been able to make those first 2 payments, and that's $200,000. So thank you. That's incredible. I just want to say thank you for that because you guys have all been a part of it. But now, as you know, part of what we're talking about all this month of November is that we do have one more payment left. And thankfully, we have a year to raise it all. We don't have to pay it till the end of December 2024. So we've got just over a year, but we have to come up with another $150,000. So which is why we're trying to expand our reach. Because there's so many reasons for us to expand our reach, but this is a big one of them because this space that we're in is such a huge blessing to the kids, to our team. We have kids coming every week consistently to our programming that we offer. It's our workspace, it's our everything. So it's just our home base for everything that is Ancla. And so it's a huge part of what we do, and that's why we are trying to raise what we need left to pay for it. But just thank you for all your support so far. And part of the ways that you can help now is to be a part of this whole campaign that we're doing in November to let other people know about what Anchor of Hope is doing. So we've got some really exciting things of ways that you can get your friends involved, which I'm going to let Lily share a little bit about.
All right, so we're going to be just throwing a bunch of information at you, but there will be emails coming. We'll be posting on all of our social media because with all these exciting things, we want you guys to join us and be part of the Anchor of Hope family. We always talk about with our kids. We're family. We're here for each other, and you guys are a part of that. So the first really exciting announcement is that this month, the month of November, we have 4 videos coming out. We know that for so many people, we share stories. We're constantly writing and telling people, about what's going on, how God is moving. But it's another thing to see the reality of the streets, to see where the kids are living, to see the community center, to see the Ancla Center, to see us interacting with the kids. And so we've been dreaming about this for a really long time, but we wanted to make videos to share the heart of Anchor of Hope with you guys. And so in the month of November, we're going to have 4 videos. Every Monday, a new video will be coming out to share the heart, to share the programs, to be sharing the kids. The kids were amazing. They were all so excited to be part of the video.
You really were.
And that's like the cool thing is we really want the kids to understand why we're making this. And so we always are telling the kids, there are people praying for you guys. All of this is not coming out of Ellie and I's pocket. Like, this is the support that God is pouring out upon this ministry and upon you guys because he loves you and he sees you. And there are so many people surrounding Anchor of Hope, covering you guys in prayer, supporting us, making every snack possible, making every single program possible. And it's been really beautiful because I think the kids are really understanding that there is a community around them and a family around them. And so thank you guys for being a part of that. The next 4 Mondays, we're going to be having a new video come out, and Ellie's going to share a little bit more about the videos. But we really, really, really want to invite you guys to join us. So each one can reach one. So every video that comes out, if you guys can share, you can use social media, you can share it through links and emails and texts, but it's a super easy way to say, hey, there's this really cool ministry down in Bolivia. We have some friends who are working with kids living on the streets, and we want to show you. So you guys actually will have easy ways to share the heart and the vision of Anchor of Hope.
Yeah, I'm personally super pumped about these videos. Like, I really want to see how they all turn out because I haven't seen them all yet. So that's exciting. But I'm not going to say much more because I don't want to give you too much crazy information. But I'm super pumped about these. We've all been dreaming about these for years. But one of the things that has really honestly just random fact, I don't know. Yeah. For me, that's been an issue for us to make these videos before is one, because trust is such a big thing with our kids. They live in such a public atmosphere and everyone's constantly surrounding them. They live in the middle on the streets and they're constantly being seen. And the way that society interacts with them has a lot of times given them a really negative experience, even with just how they're portrayed, how, whenever they are on the news, they come out across as these just terrible, children. I don't know. And so most of the times that they're portrayed on television or whatnot is just in a really negative way. And a lot of people will just film them, obviously, without asking, without permission. And they're filming even kids under 18, which is technically against the law to use their image without their personal permission, all these different stuff. And so one of the things that has been really why we've taken so long to even make videos like these and be public with them, because we're going to post them on our YouTube page so that everyone can see and everyone can share them openly, is because we wanted to do it in a way that honored the kids and with their permission. And so just to protect them. And so we've gone about these videos with just that really holding that really close, really protecting the kids in it. So that's our heart in it. But protecting the kids while also being able to share a part of the reality, because like Lily said, it's so much, we can only say and share so many words, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. So seeing their reality in these videos, we really want people to understand where they're coming from and just see how Anchor of Hope fits into that. So I'm super excited. There's 4 different videos, so hop on every Monday, please. It's going to be incredible. So I'm super excited for you guys to see all that we've been working on.
And the kids are excited too, because we want them to have a voice and tell them your stories are important, your voices are important. So they came up with ideas of we're going to do this in this video. And so I'm not going to say anymore because I'm going to end up giving out things that I shouldn't. But yeah, so they're super excited. We're super excited. So every Monday there's going to be a video coming out, and There's a few more things that we'll share in a second, but I also just really want to say, as we just talk about social media, though, that we're just so thankful for the way that people have been coming alongside of us. We have a prayer team that is extremely active, and that people that are praying and commenting on, everything that we're posting on social media, that they're sharing posts. The way people have been praying over our team, over the kids. We have people that have like lists of children that they're praying for specifically. We have people who have been praying like and fasting for specific kids, and we see God moving in such a beautiful way through all of you and the way that you're supporting and praying. And for us too, it's such a huge encouragement, because there's some really heavy days and there's some really heavy seasons and really hard things that we walk through. And I feel like on the hardest days, I always get like these random messages from people like, I'm praying this specific thing over your team. And I'm like, God, you're so clearly working. And it's beautiful to see that even though we're continents away, that people have a heart for Anchor of Hope, and they have a heart for our team, and they have a heart for us and for the kids. So I just really also want to say thank you to everybody who's following us on social media, who's part of our prayer team. If you want to join our prayer team, if you really feel that on your heart, we would love to join people or have people join us. We're looking to grow our prayer team and have there be 100 people to be praying over very specific things as we are walking into dark places and as we're really fighting alongside each kid and walking alongside them. So if you're interested, you can message us later and say, hey, I want to join the prayer team. But thank you too for just commenting on things and loving us so well. It's been really a joy to see that community grow and to see so many of you guys love our kids so well.
Yeah, it is such a beautiful thing, and it's what we pray for, and it's what we talk about with our kids, that everyone needs family, everyone needs community. We can't walk out this life alone. And so what I love about Anchor of Hope is that it's all interconnected. Even though we're here in Bolivia and we have our team, our staff, who is constantly interacting with the children, we're a family here. But then there's also that level of like, we're family with all of you in the States who's supporting us, and all of it's interconnected because we can't do the one thing without another. And so I'm just super thankful for that as well. Just had to say it again. No, but it's really cool. And so also just want to, okay, I have no way to segue this. I'm just going to go straight for it. I'm sorry. There's just a lot of things that we want to share and a lot of things that we're trying to do. And so, okay, on to a new topic. Another way that we're trying to expand our reach. No, it's not. This is all interconnected. So another way that we're really trying to expand our community, because one of the things that Lily said that when we were talking about the videos is that we want to give the kids a voice as well. We want people to be able to understand them and for them to feel heard and listened to and loved. And so that's part of that's a big thing that we're trying to do in the videos. And so we're trying to build that community too, so all of this is just trying to build more community. And one way that we want to do that too is by being visible on the internet and videos on YouTube, but also just being visible with cool merch. Okay, mine is not cool merch of Anchor of Hope, but hers is. So we actually have some new merch that is currently live. You can go on and buy right now. Part of the proceeds will go to Anchor of Hope. So just hop on there and buy away all the Anchor of Hope merch that you got on there. We got some really cool ones. If for any of you who were at Taste of Hope this year, which was our annual fundraiser, we've got similar ones to what we were selling there, but we've also got new ones with new designs with some of our other images that we work with. We've got a really cool one with the sunflower, which is one of the things that we're always talking about how we want our kids to flourish. And so that's why we got the sunflower on the back of some of the shirts, obviously with our logos. So go on, buy merch, wear it around. And then when your friends are like, hey, that's a really cool shirt, you can be like, yeah, and it's part of a really cool organization called Anchor of Hope. I got some videos to show you. So I really think you should be a part of that.
There's hats, there's sweatshirts, the's t-shirts,
there's mugs.
There's mugs.
That one's cool. I haven't seen the mug before. So
for
I'm
a
excited
great
about
cause, and they're good quality.
Yes. So get on there. I think we'll have the link for that.
Yeah, it's through on the emails, and we'll be throwing it up on social media too.
Instagram, we can throw it in some places so everyone can find the link.
So we have
all their merch.
4 videos coming. We have merch. At the end of the month, we're going to be doing a really fun, interactive fundraiser. So we'll be sharing more info with that, but just kind of trying to look for ways to get people plugged in and connected. So keep your eyes on social media and all of our emails that we're sending out this month for looking for ways to connect. And finally, there will be a few giveaways.
Yes.
So stay
free
connected.
merch. You can get free merch. You don't even have to pay for it, and then you can rep Anchor of Hope if you're staying connected.
Yes, stay connected. And the whole point is each one reach one. So these are just super easy ways for you to invite more people in to share what God is doing through Anchor of Hope, and help us grow our reach.
Yeah, it's I'm really excited for all of these different things. So, and it's really important. There's so many things that we're trying to, I think we're throwing all this information and trying to do all these different things. But I mean, at the heart of it is just like what we're doing every day in the lives of these kids. And so we want to be more present to you guys, and we want more people to be able to be present and to be a part of what God is doing in the lives of these kids, because he really is moving. And we've seen that in so many ways recently too. I feel like we've just seen a lot of changes even in the last few months of how God is opening doors for us. And actually you should talk about that.
Yeah, so
many really cool doors, that God of ours.
Yeah, so that's been, a lot of you guys have been following along very closely this year, and it's been a year with a lot of loss. We've lost 4 kids this year, just due to violence, due to illness, and a few adults as well. And so it's just been a year with a lot of spiritual warfare, with a lot of heartbreak. And so we have that side where you just see the darkness of the streets and the realities that these kids are living with. Like just this week, we've been in and out of the hospital with 4 different kids. A kid got stabbed. A little boy broke his arm. We had another guy who was just struggling with some different health things. And then yesterday, another kid had to get stitches. And so like the day-to-day that's happening is really crazy on top of all of our programs. Like today we had kids coming into the center, which was just amazing. They're learning, they're growing, they're, taking showers and washing their clothes and learning and helping with snack and encouraging each other. And so the day-to-days are like this. You can have a lot of things planned for a week, and then everything can change in an instant. And our team is so amazing, and shout out to our amazing team, because I feel like every week we're like, okay, we're going to do this. And then 15 emergencies happen. We're like, okay, actually somebody needs to go here. We need to look for this kid. We need to do this. But as a lot of you guys have known, about 4 years ago, we had a group of kids, of our youngest kids. They went into this area called the favela, which is a forested area. For those of you who've been following along, who've been, reading all our posts and our updates, you know that this is the most dangerous place in Santa Cruz. There is a lot of substance abuse. There's a lot of stealing that happens. There's just, it's a really dark place. And we have not had access into this area. No other ministry, but I think there's one other ministry that has gone in a few times to do different rescues and tried to search for kids. But like police don't go in, social services don't go in. And so when we had a group of kids go in there, they basically just disappeared. And as a team, we were just praying, okay, how do we keep reaching these kids? And so for the last 4 years, we've been going every week outside of the favela on the street that it's on, because it's basically this big forested area. Like it's just like a jungle area. They just walk in and they're gone.
Technically, it's a nature preserve, because that's why people can't.
It's along like the edge of a river. And so there is like a community kind of in there, but then there's just so many children and adults who are just completely struggling with addictions, who are just inside of this area. And so over the years, we've been very consistent with the kids that come out, because they'll come out sometimes to make a few coins or to look for food or to beg. And our hearts have just been broken because we've seen our kids just deteriorate before our eyes. The level of drug abuse inside is horrendous. It's just spiritually so dark. We've had so many kids just say that when they go in, they just can't leave. It's a whole other level. And for years, we've been praying, God, show us how to reach these kids, to do it safely. And it's just been something that's been very, very heartbreaking to watch. We've lost multiple kids inside due to illness, due to violence. So it's just been like this place that we have not been able to reach, except for on the outside. And so a few months ago, or about a month and a half ago now, God started putting it very specifically on my heart go into the favela, go into the favela. And so I'm like praying this prayer of like, how? How do we do that? Because even the kids and the adults from that area that we befriended were like, you can't go in there. Please don't go in. It's dangerous. And so our team was, we were trying to just find that line of respect and being careful and being cautious and being wise, but also not losing our children. And so as a team, we started praying, and we had just multiple people too shared with us, hey, we've been praying for the favela. We've been praying for you guys. And so at the beginning of October, our team just began to fast and pray. And we just said, okay, God, like if this is you putting it on our hearts, we want to follow you in obedience. And in my head, I was like, I would just love the children to be like, come inside, and for them to like invite us in. I was like, that'd be easier, instead of us like, hi, we're here. But I just felt like I was like, no, it's time. You guys can go in. I'm going to give you favor. And so we had our prayer team praying. We had our whole team fasting and praying. And I, along with the two guys in our street team, we got our first aid kits ready. We had sandwiches packed. Like we were just like, let's just go in and just see how far we can go. And it's been so beautiful, because a place that's been completely closed off, God has just opened the door. The first day that we went in, basically there's the highway right here. I'll try to explain it the best I can. So there's a highway right here. And so we crossed the highway, and this whole time my heart's just like beating. I was like, okay, God, you're with us. You have promised to walk alongside of us, and we're going to step forward in faith. But I had no idea, were they going to be receiving of us? Were they just going to try to like tell us to get out? Were they going to be offended that we were going in? And so you get to the other side of the highway, and there's just like this forested area. It's kind of like jungle, and you go up and over these stairs. And so I'm walking in, and the guys are like right behind me. And in my head, I'm like, what are we doing? Is there anybody else that wants to lead? And it was just like this moment of, okay, God, you're with us. You are the one that opens doors. There is no darkness that you can't light up and shine through. And so we walk up and over, and you cross this little creek at the bottom. There's like a few stepping stones, and like it's just a whole different world. Like you're cut off from Santa Cruz basically, and you're just in this jungle, and it's beautiful. I mean, there's just ferns everywhere and trees everywhere. And so we walk across this little bridge, and then just instantly we were just faced with homeless people just everywhere. They're just laying in the dirt. They're all doing drugs. And it was like this instant just hitting a reality of, this is a different world in here. And so we started handing out sandwiches, and right away we ran into this old man that we have befriended before. Like we've talked to him before, and he immediately was like, you guys are here. We're so thankful. We're so thankful that you guys are here. I can feel God's presence. I can feel the Holy Spirit with you. And he had goosebumps. Like he was like, look at my arm. I have goosebumps because I can feel the Holy Spirit. I believe in God. And he just kept just like saying these words. And he goes, I've watched you guys for years. You guys work, what did he say? What was the phrase he used? He was just basically like low and slow. Like he's like, you guys are slow and steady, but you have loved the little children in this area for 4 years. And I've been watching you, and I'm so thankful for that you're here. He goes, if there's anything that I can do to help you, I'm here for you. If you need anything, he's like, just come find me, and I will make a way to help connect you and help you find the kids. And kids and adults were just coming. Like I think we ran into like 30 or 40 people just in that first moment. We were handing out sandwiches and just saying, hey, we're here to help. If you guys need prayer, if you need anything, we'll be coming in every week. And they were just so thankful. And it was so clearly God just opening up this door. And as we left, they're like, we're here to help you. Like, you guys keep coming. Come in the way that you are. You're not forcing anybody to change. You're not forcing anybody to get off the streets. You're here to love us. And we can feel that. And the next week, we went back in, and we were very specifically looking for 2 kids. One had just been in the hospital, and then one is this really young boy that's just really struggling. And so we started asking around, and, I think we ran into one of the leaders, and he was like, oh, like they're back on this little path. And so with our team, we were kind of like, well, we're not going to like go looking. Like, God is going to open the door. And so one of the other guys was like, oh, I'll lead you. And the boss leader guy was like, okay, take him. So we went with our sandwiches, and we went back on this little path, and we just come into this clearing, and there's just kids all the kids that are living on the streets in this area. We're just sitting there, and they're all surprised to see us. They're like, Hermana Lily, what are you guys doing in here? Because they know that we haven't gone in before because of just the realities that are in there. But once again, the kids were just like, thank you for being here. And we found the old guy that's become our friend, and he was really struggling with his health. So we just said, hey, can we pray for you? And so I started praying for him. And there was just this moment, I'm like, I'm sitting in the most dangerous part of Santa Cruz, and I have the chance to pray over this man. And I prayed over him, and there's kids sitting all around. And he was like, I'm going to pray for you. So he starts praying for me in the favela, we're sitting in the dirt, and there's trees all around. There's light shining through. And he's like, I'm going to pray for you. So he starts praying. He goes, God, I just pray that you would open every door and help them get to wherever they need to go and help them get to every single child. And I almost started crying because I'm just like, how is God doing this? How has God just completely opened the door for us to come into such a dark place and share light? And so now we've gone in a few different times. And so our team is going to continue to move into that area and continue to reach these children. And we just want to pray over this place. We want to pray over every single child. And we want to ask you guys to join us in doing that, because we do not want to lose children. We don't want kids to disappear. We want to see God continue to move, continue to use our team to walk into these places. It's not easy. It's really, really heartbreaking. But seeing how the people in this area are seeing Jesus, like they're not saying like, oh, wow, you guys are such great people because you're here. They're saying like, God hasn't forgotten us. And so that's been such a huge blessing. And I just want to say thank you specifically to our prayer team and everybody who's been praying, fasting alongside of us. Please keep praying. Please keep praying for these little ones. It can take years. Like we've seen kids, and it's taken years and years and years. And in one moment, there's just like a switch in their hearts, and they're like, I'm done. I'm tired of being on the streets. We had this little boy this year get off the streets. He's been on the streets for years. He was like, I never want to get off the streets. I love being on the streets. Like literally would say, my life goal is to be on the streets for the rest of my life. And he was in the favela. And for the last year, he's been off the streets. And it's just, we see these different kids and we see these stories that seem impossible. And it sometimes takes a day, and sometimes it takes years and years. But God is moving, and God is bringing hope, and God is healing. And we are seeing kids get off the streets, and teenagers get off the streets, and adults get off the streets. And so it's worth it. It's worth every single victory. It's worth every single heartbreak, because we know that God will continue to move. So that's my story. I have so much more to share, but I'm going to be done talking. But you can definitely be praying for the favela.
We've got a question from Hazel Kendrick.
Yeah, so there is, so the question is, have any kids wanted to come out of the favela since you have been going in? The littlest boy that we have been praying for and looking for, he's 11 years old, and he used to come to the community center every week. He was like the most consistent kid. He's great. He's hilarious. He loves playing Uno. He was like the foosball king, and he started going into the favela, and we just lost him. And he's gotten so tiny and so skinny, and he's just struggling. But we found him on Wednesday, and he said that he wants to go visit a center. He doesn't want to go in yet, but he wants to go visit. So we're just really thankful for that like little tiny like moment of like hope. And it's igniting hope. It's like these little sparks of hope. I just had a girl message me last night, and she said that she wants to talk, and she's tired of living in the favela. And so she was like, can you come find me? We went to look for her today. We didn't find her, but we'll be back next week. She knows we're there every Wednesday. So it's just little tiny steps. And so please keep praying. But we do have 2 boys who are currently out of the favela, who are currently with family, and they've been doing really, really good. And so we're really, really thankful for that, because just seeing the change is so beautiful. That's my story.
Yeah, it's really cool to see everything that God's been doing. There's just a lot going on. And, well, I want to know if you guys have questions for us, because I'd rather just answer questions rather than come up with more random things. We could talk about a lot of different random things, but I do just want to know if anyone has any questions about what we've been talking about. Just shout out to everyone who is listening, who is on. Hope wants to know, shout out to Hobie. Hope wants to know how many people are on the AOH team. There are 7 people currently on our team here in Bolivia. There's another person in the States, and then we've got a lot of people on our board, some amazing people. But here in Bolivia, there's currently 7 of us. So there's me and Lily, and then there's 5 other incredible people. And so that, well, yeah, well, I mean, they're not all Bolivian. Technically, there's a Colombian on the team as well, a Colombian missionary, and then 4 other Bolivians. They're incredible. Seriously, I am so thankful. I just see how God is so faithful in every detail of what we do, because He's just faithful to bring the right people. He's, faithful to work in the lives of the kids and all the different things. So it's just. But yeah, I just really see His faithfulness in the way that He's brought every single person that is on our team to our team, and just at the right time and just with the right skills. And everyone is such a huge blessing.
Yes.
So I'm super thankful for them.
Also, just going to say, our team is so creative. So we have Romina, who's our lead social worker. We have Paola, who's our other social worker. We have our street team, which is Johan and Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Abby, who's our admin.
Mm-hmm.
She's like in charge of all the administration. But so everybody does their job. Everybody goes out on the streets. That's like one of our things as a team. We say everybody has to go out on the streets. But the creativity that our team has is amazing. So we all take turns planning games, planning the education part, and taking turns leading the lesson times. And every week, I see like the education pieces and the games. I'm like, how are we doing this every week? Like the creativity. If anybody follows our social media, our Instagram stories, you'll see like the amount of games we play. If anybody needs good game ideas, we have them. We have come up with some fun stuff.
This is true.
And the kids are so fun.
I think Christy Flu's got a question.
Okay, you're asking about a specific kid. I'm not going to say names, but I know who you're talking about. So we had a young man. We've helped him over the last 6 years go into multiple centers. During COVID, he almost passed away. He was hospitalized. He's a kid that is he's hilarious. He's very sassy, but he's a kid that has just struggled like over the years to leave the streets, but he's never given up. Like this is one of the kids that we've just seen. We'll call him Y because you guys all know him, probably social media call him Y. But he has every time that he kind of relapses or goes back to the streets or gets into a really rough place, he keeps asking for help and he keeps saying, I do want to get off. I want to try. And he really does have a faith in God. It's been beautiful to see how that through even the like highs and lows, he hasn't stopped trusting God or being even honest with his struggles. Like when he is struggling, he's like, I don't know if I believe anymore. He's like, I want to believe, but it's hard. And I've been praying to God and telling him I don't believe. I'm like, well, that's believing. And he also is just like encouraged our team so much. He's so like one of his love languages is words of affirmation. He just pours out love, and everybody, even in the street where he stayed, like he knows everybody. But about a week and a half ago, he went into a center and he's still there, which is amazing. He's getting medical treatment because he's still struggling with his health. But he has been there for 11 days. Yeah, 11 days. And so we're so thankful, and we would love prayers for Y. We always call the kids just by their initials because it's just easier on social media. But too, like we've seen with this kid that there are so many people on our Instagram and through our prayer team that have been praying for him for years. And he's the kid that he wants to share his story. Like he's told us multiple times, he's like, I'm going to write my book someday. I'm going to write my story someday. He's like written chapters. He's like chapter 1, chapter 2, because he's understood that even though he's walking through really hard things and even though his life has been really difficult, that that God has a purpose for his life. And he's like, I want to share what I've been through to help other kids and help other people so that they don't give up, which has just been beautiful. And part of the hard thing with his story is, and it's a reality for a lot of the kids, is that they have families, but their families reach a point where they're just done. And their families give up on their kids and they say, you've relapsed again. I've helped you this many times and we're done, because they just get tired. And there's also a lot of times other issues going on in the families. And so about 2 years ago, he's told me, hey, I want to go visit my dad. I want to apologize. And I just want my dad to know that I'm still alive and that I love him and that I want to just ask for forgiveness. We showed up at his house and his dad didn't even let him cross the doorstep. He said, "Who are you? What are you doing here? You're not my kid anymore." And so I just told this kid, I was like, "Come on, let's go. Like, it's not even worth fighting or getting, you know." And so we walked away and the kid was just crying. And it's heartbreaking because we've seen families, we've seen God heal families and bring restoration, but we've also just seen parents that are just like, "I'm not going to deal with this anymore." And so one of the things that we've really been focusing this year on this year is family restoration. We had a family day at the community center. We invited all the kids got to invite their families. We had about 7 families, I think, visit.
I didn't remember that was this year.
Yeah.
It just
But
felt
just-
like a really long time
And we've been
ago.
doing lots of family visits, so we've been able to connect with a lot of the families.
Yeah.
The kids
Yeah.
come to program and they're like, "Hey, can I call my dad? Hey, can I call my mom?" And so we've seen a huge step forward with families, with kids returning home, even for a few days,
Yeah.
which has been so beautiful because we can't do this on our own. We want the families to be involved. The families are broken. A lot of the times it's really, really complicated to work with families, but it's also beautiful to see like kids that are like, "I'm going to go home for Christmas. I'm going to go home for my birthday." And start like finding healing and all of those kind of things. That's been really beautiful. Jake said, "How is the kid doing who was stabbed earlier this weekend or this week?" Yeah, we had a stab this week. That was on Monday morning. We were going actually to film because we were filming some of the videos for this week. And then we were also taking another kid to the hospital for tuberculosis treatment. And at 5:30 in the morning, I got a phone call, found a 15-year-old in the canal. He was unconscious. He had gotten stabbed. His friend was the friend who stabbed him was the one who called me, which I was thankful for, but not thankful that he stabbed him. But we were able to get him to the hospital. He was hospitalized for like about a day and a half. He slept the whole time. He's okay. He had stitches in the 2 places he got stabbed. And then from there, he went into a boys' shelter for about 24 hours. And then he went back to the streets. So he's back on the streets. He's okay. But he came to the Onkla Center today to get his stitches cleaned out, which was really positive because we always are trying to encourage the kids to be independent. But he's stable. You guys can be praying for him though, for sure, because he's 15 and he's figuring out, making life choices, and it's hard. It's hard to see for sure, but he's doing good. He was really thankful too. It was really cool. He was really thankful for the help that we were able to give him and that he was able to get hospital care. And some kids are very, very angry about being in the hospital and there's a lot of fear there, but he was so respectful to the doctors and was very patient. And so in a bad situation, it was a good moment. So what other questions do you guys have? You can post them in the comments. Let's see if they're new up here. I can't go back up.
You don't have a touch screen.
Oh, I don't have a touch. Whoopsie. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. Yeah, let us know if any questions. Trying to think of what else. If we start telling stories,
always
we'll just go on all night long. But let's see. We celebrated 4 birthdays since last night, which has been really cool. We love celebrating birthdays, if you haven't noticed. So I think we've celebrated like 70 birthdays this year so far, which is, the kids love it. Like today, we found 2 older guys. One is 20, just turned 25, and then one is actually an older guy who left the streets. But we found him today, and we just surprised him with like a little cake, and we started singing to him, and he just started crying. And so it's just been beautiful to see, like, our focus and our heart is for the kids and the teenagers living on the streets, but we're also able to really bless and come alongside and walk alongside, and just offer friendship to the older adults. So it's been a blessing.
Yeah. Well, if there's any other questions, how can we pray for you this week? Ooh. Well, we just finished the week, made it through one, and it was a crazy one, so that's a good thing. You can pray that next week will be a little bit more normal.
No.
More calm.
So we have a phrase here.
This is true, we do.
What would it be in English?
Just a normal day.
Just a normal day. So
just another day is probably a better translation.
And so a day where you get hospital phone, like emergency phone calls, and you have the highs and lows, that's a normal day. So you can pray that we have like just a week full of peace. And that kids will be like, I want to go into centers, and that we don't have to go back to the hospital.
That's a good prayer.
I was back yesterday, and the doctors were like, it's you again. I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry. It's a different kid, though. Okay, so the question is, in the forest area, which I don't know how to spell, strictly run by gangs, like is there order in there, or is it more of a free-for-all?
There's a complex web of things going on there.
Yes, for sure. So there's definitely leaders. There's a community that lives in there, which there's a lot going on. So there's just a lot of illicit things that are happening inside. But one of the interesting things was on Wednesday, one of the adults was talking to me, and he was saying, the way things are run in here is not like it's run out there. And there's things that don't make sense to outsiders, but here it's kind of like survival of the fittest. And one thing that he said, he's like, there shouldn't be kids in here. We're adults. We choose what we want to do. If I do drugs, it's because I want to do drugs. Kids should not be living in here by themselves. And he goes, and it really breaks my heart because they've had to become hardened and they've had to go through different things. And he goes, but they're also really brave. He's like, I look at those kids that are in here and they're super brave. But it's definitely not a place for children. And even the adults in there realize that, which has been really crazy. Shout out to Romina, who's watching this. Hola, Romina. She was our first staff. Just going to shout out to Romina right now. She was our first staff. She was actually at the Taste of Hope event in Minnesota earlier this year, so a lot of you guys got to meet her. But we're just so thankful for her and the rest of our team. They're amazing.
Yeah.
What do you do during the ANCLA programs?
Where's that question?
Right here.
Oh, we do.
Good job. Keep the questions
so
coming.
Many different things. I mean, generally we have an order. So the kids come, there's free time, they can shower, they can wash their clothes. We have a whole ton of games. Thankfully thanks to you guys, honestly. So we did an Amazon fundraiser, I think it was one time. And That was bomb, and then they brought them all in suitcases. And it was an incredible amount of suitcases full of games. So we have this cupboard full of games that for like the first hour while some kids are, bathing and whatnot, then other kids are just playing games, and some just come directly to sleep for a little bit. But other than that, we do have in our organized times, we always have fun. We have a game time that everyone participates in. We have education time where we just have a little educational activity every time. And then after that, we always have a time of biblical teaching and just sometimes just practical life things. And then we always have time for playing soccer. And then we have lovely snack. That's the word. We have a lovely snack, and then everyone does chores. I love it because everyone does chores. All the kids who come do a chore to help clean up the house, and then we all go home. Well, yeah,
they all return. But so there's a couple cool things is that the kids come on their own, so we don't pick them up. They know what day to come. So on Thursdays, there's the younger kids, so it's 8 to 17-year-olds on Thursdays, and then Fridays are 17 to 25-year-olds. And then on Wednesdays, we have the Mama Baby program where we're walking alongside girls who are pregnant or with their babies. Paola, our social worker, has been running that program and taking some of the girls to get their checkups and stuff done before they have their babies. We have 2 girls. One's about to give birth in the next week or so you can be praying for her. And then the other one is, I think, 7 months pregnant. And so we have 2 girls right now who are in that process. And so Paola has done an amazing job making sure they can get all their, everything that they need to get ready to have their baby. And we just had a baby shower with one of the girls. And so her mom came and her boyfriend was there and a few of the friends. And so we were able to just pray over her and encourage her and help her prepare for her little baby. So yeah, Wednesdays are Mama Baby program. Thursdays are our Lions program, which are the younger kids. And then Fridays are the Eagles program with the older kids. Okay, good job, guys. You're doing good with the questions. Okay, what are you doing in the program? Have you guys met any of the other leaders in there before recently? So I'm assuming you're talking about the favela. So in the favela, yeah, like over the 4 years, we've met multiple adults and things like that. So we really keep up with all the kids and stuff, but we've been able to connect with multiple adults so that when we started going in, it was a lot easier because even though there was like 60 people and we knew maybe half of them, the ones that we didn't know were like, oh, hermano, like we know you. And so it was just a lot easier. And a lot of the adults had seen us before working on the outside area. And so I think it just helped because it wasn't like these intruders coming in. It was like, oh, we know how you guys work. We know you aren't forcing anybody off. So that was a huge thing. And also just beautiful to see how God used the last 4 years of prayer and like work and just like that sowing to be able to reap a harvest. And so we're going to continue to pray and continue to go in and continue to trust. But I think too, just like going in, just saying, hey, we're not here to force anybody to do anything. We just want to love you and give you a sandwich. It's been really cool. Let's see. What are the kids' favorite games to play at the center? Uno.
Always Uno, honestly. It's one of their favorite games. I'm not going to lie. I get tired of playing Uno, but that's fine. We do it.
Uno, Spot It, which I don't know if you guys have played. They love those two games.
Yes, Spot It. Sorry. Trouble. We love Trouble. We love Shoots and Ladders. Shoots and Ladders is a solid win at the center.
We have a
Although
foosball
there's
table.
some children who are cheaters. Some children are cheaters. But anyways, but we enjoy ourselves nonetheless.
They play foosball. They love playing foosball. They love doing sopa de letras, like crossword puzzles.
Well, we don't do that.
It's not crossword.
No, it's word searches.
Word search. There we go.
Word searches. They love doing those, and they love to just draw. And like, well, not draw actually. We just like, print off some like cool, fun movie drawings, and then you fill it in. Some of my words are not coming out the right way.
But that too has been so cool. You have like 23-year-olds who are just sitting at the table, calm, and they're just coloring, and it's the most beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. We have another kid who he'll lay by. We have like a speaker with all the music that we always play, like Christian music and worship music and rap music. But he will lay down during the free time in front of the speaker for as long as he can. And he asks Ellie, because Ellie's usually the one she's the DJ of Anchor Hope.
Yes, I am.
He'll be like, can you put on Reckless Love? Can you put on Good Father? Like, and he has like this list of music. And he
Graves into Gardens.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful.
The
He'll
Blessing.
Just lay there. The
Reckless
Blessing.
Love. And then one that doesn't exist in English, I don't think.
But like, that's his thing. He'll just come in and just lay down on the ground and just listen to worship music and sing. And he's 19, 20 years old. And it's the most beautiful thing. So there's like these moments where you're like, is this happening? Are these kids just like laying here? And
it was actually beautiful. So cute. I was talking to him about it in the morning, because he was like, it's cold today. It's in the 70s. It's cold, guys. And so when the kids came, they were all making like coffee and different stuff. And so I was in the kitchen. That's it. The kitchen making coffee. And he's like, yeah, Hermana, I just love hearing these songs, because when we turn them on and when I listen to them, I just feel something inside, and I just feel good. And it was like, yeah, that's the Holy Spirit. That's like God talking me through these songs. It's adorable. It's the best thing.
It's our favorite thing. Like, that is the cool thing. We always say that Anchor of Hope Center is a safe place. And for so many kids, it's become that. And so they walk in, you can just see like the way they walk in and the way they walk out, they're completely different kids. They've taken a shower, but just like, you can tell they've just like been able to breathe deeply. So, okay.
Okay, there's a question that I really like. Elena, I appreciate your question. What do y'all do to prevent burnout? Because that is such an important thing. And I really appreciate that question. I think everyone does a lot of different things. I mean, as a team, one of the ways that we try and take care of our team is just like having, allowing spaces for conversation, but also like doing different activities throughout the year. Like we have a yearly retreat specifically with our staff where we go out that side of the city and we just do different activities together. And then at the end, well, it's really twice a year because we take time off at the end of the year with everyone where we just don't do any programming at the end of the year for like 2 weeks. So that our staff can have time with their families as well, and that we can just rest and not have to be even doing programming necessarily all year long. But there's a lot of different little things too. Just we have weekly meetings on Mondays to plan our weekly activities, and so there's different times where Lily will just lead in some random question, like different things where we can just all be processing together what we're going through, even the hard moments, because one of the big things to prevent is just like even being able to process together and know that we're in it together, and that there's other people who feel the same way. So there's I would say there's a lot of different things.
I think too, as a team, we understand how heavy it is, and so we're all trying to be there for each other. And so like I really feel that with our team. So there's certain days where we're like, go take the day off, like, or just like go leave early, because it is like we're walking through such hard things. And so as a team, and especially like as a ministry, we want to care for our team well, because we want people to be able to work and serve for years. And like one easy way to do that is we always start with prayer. Every Monday we have a specific time for getting in the word and praying together. But then we also celebrate the little victories, because you don't see kids getting off the streets every week. And when you do, it's beautiful. But we always talk about, let's celebrate the little victories. So it might be that this kid who's been very, very naughty and crazy had his first great day at program and he didn't punch anybody. Or it could be that.
Well, no, that doesn't happen. We don't let punching happen in the center. Bad example.
He doesn't punch anybody that hard. Or it could be like, this girl showed up to program after a month of just really struggling with different things. And so we've really been working on we always come back to that, like, what can we celebrate? What is like the beautiful things that God is doing? And in a ministry where you see so much darkness, like being able to point out like these moments of light is super, super important. And our team does a really good job of like, let's celebrate those victories. So even like celebrating a birthday is like, this kid is having another birthday. He made it another year. So yeah, those kind of things are really, really important. Good question. And I'm going to say hi to you because I'm so glad you're here watching. Okay, there's a few more questions, and then I think we're going to finish up so that it's not like 6 hours long. But if you have more questions that you can ask us later or send us messages and stuff, because it is really cool to interact with you guys.
We missed that one.
No, I did say that one. The leaders in the okay. So from Helen Gachi, hello. Is there a way to support specific program needs like your trips into the favelas? Prayer for sure. So if you haven't joined the prayer team and you want to message us, please. Would love your guys' prayer. Every Wednesday we're going into the favela. So be praying for us Wednesday afternoons. But all of our support for different ministries and different programs and stuff comes through the support that you guys and everybody's giving. So if you are a monthly supporter, even if it's like $5 or $10 or more, whatever God puts in your heart, that goes towards our street outreach program, all of our programs at the Ancla Center, and then even things like emergency hospital trips and those kind of things. And so,
like stabbing.
Yep. So when kids get stabbed, but okay, just gonna say, really, really proud of our team. This year we have figured out the medical system in such a different way. And so we have been able to get so many more kids care in a much more cost-effective way, because this medical system is just very, very different here. But that's just been really encouraging too, to see the connections that we've been able to make here with different ministries, just with like social services and different outreaches and stuff. That's been able to make life a lot easier in the midst of all these different emergencies and crazy stuff. So how many people do you think are in the favela? I was honestly trying to like find a number in my head. We haven't gone to the back of it. So like we've been through the front area into like the middle area. So there's a neighborhood area, which I don't know how many people like live in there. There's families, kids, and they have kind of like their little houses and shacks and things. But the street community, like the homeless population inside, we've been in 4 times now, and we've met at least 100 people. And I don't think we've met everybody. And so, I mean, there's a couple hundred in there, and I mean, probably 30 kids, maybe under 18. But there's also a lot of people going in and bringing things out, which has been really, really hard to see. And so we've seen in the last couple of years, like the drug use has been going way up. It's gotten a lot more complicated, and we know that it's going to continue to grow over the next few years. And so we're praying, and we're really trying to network too with other ministries and different organizations, and to try to find strategies so that like kids aren't coming back onto the streets. And to like, that's just an evidence of God's grace. This year we've seen multiple younger kids. Like as a team, we've just started like working really hard of like, if there's a new kid, we're not just going to be like, oh, he's new, that's so sad. Like we're really trying to connect quickly and efficiently so that the kids don't stay on the streets and they don't get used to being on the streets. Yesterday I met like a 12-year-old girl on the streets, and so we're just like instantly aware of where is she, what is she, you know, what's her story. Her parents are on the street, so she's a second generation street kid. But we were early, like throughout this year, we've been able to help, I think like 6 little boys who are like 10, 11, 12-year-olds get like able to connect with them and within their first few days of being on the streets and help them get into a children's home. And so those boys are off the streets. They haven't gone back. They're all in school now, which is so beautiful. And that's also a huge shout out to the ministries that we partner with. And like one little boy, we've been working with his uncles for the last 6 years. His uncles, like we met them when they were teenagers, and now they're all in their early 20s. But now this year, a nephew came out on the streets, and the youngest brother. So the nephew was 11. And that first night, he didn't even stay a night. We were able to connect with him. The uncle was like, hey, I don't want him staying on the streets. Can you guys help me? And so we got him into a safe place. And then he ended up going into a beautiful ministry that we partner with, Operation Restoration, who have some different amazing homes. We love this ministry. It's partnered or connected with YWAM. And so they have a girls' home and a boys' home where we have several kids. It's been so beautiful. So he's in school now. He's thriving. He didn't go back to the streets, and he actually wasn't even on the streets that first night. I think we found him at like 9:00 at night, and we were able to get him into a home. So just seeing like how our team is constantly on the streets, we're constantly connecting with the kids, and they know too that like we're there to help. So they're calling us like, hey, there's a new kid. Hey, can you help my friend? Hey, can you help my little brother? And so it's been super encouraging. If there's any more questions, send them quick, because I think we're going to try to end at an hour. Who is the best foosball player? You will have to see. It's pretty competitive. I don't think they play with rules. I don't know if foosball has rules, but they definitely don't play foosball with rules, but it's fun. So yeah, we just want to say thank you too for everybody who's joined us. If you're watching this later on, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of Anchor of Hope. It's really been amazing seeing God continue to work over the last several years. Shout out to Ellie, shout out to our board, shout out to our amazing team. Thank you guys for everything you guys do. We love this ministry. We love what God is doing. And we're dreaming, like we really are right now. Like the goal is to buy the Ankla Community Center, but we're also dreaming about what comes after that. And so that's why we want to encourage more people to join us, to like partner with us, to really see what God is doing, because it is beautiful. Every single day we get to the end of the day and I'm like, what is happening? This is amazing. Just seeing how God is at work. So a couple different easy ways to join us. Well, this month through the month of November, join our Grow With Us campaign 2023. Reach one, each one reach one. Each one reach one. So share everything that you can help us with merch, share the videos that we're going to be posting. If you want to join our prayer team, we would love to have you join our prayer team. But also, in a really easy and a super important way, is to become a monthly donor. It could be $5 a month. It could be $25 a month. It could be whatever number God puts in your heart. We are looking for more people to join us as monthly donors, and it's a huge blessing. Thank you to everybody who is part of the Anchor of Hope support team. It means the world.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you to all of you. And just stay tuned for the month of November. It's going to be some good times. Don't forget, every Monday, be watching for that new video that's going to hit your email and be posted on our YouTube. So you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be really fun. So then you would just get notified there too. So be aware of those things. Go hop on, buy some merch, walk around town, repping the Ankla logo, looking great. And yeah, those are my suggestions for you.
We love you guys.
But
Thank you so much.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how to end this, but
End stream. I think that's it.
All right. Bye, you guys. Wait. Okay, now bye, you guys. Let's see.
Yes.